Good morning, all. Great 7K day. Okay, got a few things. I'm actually going to get on an electronic whiteboard today and write up some numbers about some things that are very, very important. And I'm going to try and hit a few subjects that are very important because Hawaii's coming up on renewals. And I gave a training on renewals and AutoSavers. These are the things that you really need to concentrate on. With a few other things on you with your using your Downline Explorer and how to see what renewals are coming up, making sure they're done during the month with a person going to profile, click on edit the membership, and then click on renew now. That's how that has to be done. If that is not done, then all renewals are processed automatically by the company in bulk on the first day following the month that they are renewed in, that their renewal is due. And so that means everyone's going to be processed on the highest day of the AutoSavers, the first, and many people that are associates in copper will flood their pay side with points that they don't get paid on. And I want you to get paid on them. And it's our job, since the company doesn't automatically renew them on their anniversary date, it's our job to make sure everybody renews during the month that and you can do it any day during the month. So I have a training on that, couple of trainings, and y'all need to watch those. But basically the concept is that you renew on a week that it helps your sponsor or someone in your upline. And so they should be looking at that, and everybody that's to be renewed, and you do it 30 days in advance, because when you look at who is going to be renewing soon, and you take screenshots of that, and you click on their name and write their dates down on a screenshot printout. And that's what I've done, and that's what I've tried to teach, but it's not being duplicated enough. I have certain leaders that 80% of their renewals happen on the first, and a lot of their people aren't getting the pay that they need to get paid on. Most of the time, it doesn't mean that to the higher ranking people up, because unless they're flushing volume, but it does what's meaningful to me. It means more to the associate and the copper, and sometimes to the bronze. It depends on what their business size is, but in particular to the associate, because they'll get 900 or 1,000, 1,500 points coming up on that first, because of all the AutoSavers and the renewals all being pumped in at one time, and any new business that happened and occurred. And so that should have given them 3 checks during the month, but it's not, because of the way this is processed. So making you aware of that, add that to part of this is big business. So you got to manage a business, and it's all right there in your downline report. We're going to go to the downliner in just a second to show another concept that I'm going to talk about today. But all the things that I'm trying to teach you is how to optimize your check, how to make sure your check and your team members' check is as high as it possibly can be with the points that are being generated. And I'm going to talk about the business family pack today, and about the basic concepts of why everybody ends up with a business family pack. Okay. And I'm going to do one now with something new that I've been teaching. And I need to start teaching it more, especially to the Hawaii group and anyone that's in less than a year. Those that's been in more than a year, that's hearing this, you should be doing this, but I can tell you aren't. Okay. And I can tell because I can go into mine and I've looked and I've been talking to quite a few of the leaders. This isn't getting duplicated what I've been teaching for the first 3 years, 4 years. And I know my 5th year, last year and a half, I've been pretty busy. So I haven't been, teaching a lot of it to some of the leaders, and it isn't getting duplicated. So that's my subjects today. And so those of you that are going, this is something that has to be constantly done. It's not something that you just learn about one time, do it one time. No, it's something you do every month, every week. And so your Downline Explorer is the most useful tool you'll have in optimizing your check and your team's check. So with that said, let me give you the one I want to talk about today, and then I'm going to go to electronic whiteboard and give you a number of examples and show you things. Okay, so let's go over to the principle I want to teach you today, and I'm going to go to Downline Explorer. Okay, and I've just picked a person in a group. It doesn't matter who it is, but I can go up, and I'm going to have more and more of these cases. So what I want you to do is in the Downline Explorer in the questions, what I want you to do is go to yours, and I want each one of you to do that today, okay? And go to yours, and then I want you to pick the question, who is cycling soon? And that's going to pick up everybody that's about to cycle. And I want you to make sure you click on inactive too. So it's active and inactive you want in there. And I'll explain this in a second. Okay, so the first thing you start looking at is, okay, going across, this person's got 495 points. And they don't have any active on the left, any active on the right. But when this, and they've been active for 7 days. So when they buy their next AutoSaver, no matter what, this is going to go over 500 points. What happens? The computer cycles, subtracts those points from both sides, and they do not get a check because they're not an associate. But the computer will cycle. So read your comp plan if you did not understand that. It always cycles, and then it checks, do you qualify to get a $500 check? If you're not an associate, you don't get it. The computer cycled out the points. It flushed them, okay? And you won't get a check. So this is what I'm talking about. Everybody needs a business family. Renee Shelley, you click on her name, you find out who her sponsor is, okay? It's Perry Sherwood, okay? So then Perry Sherwood has a sponsor. If I want to know kind of the upline of that, I can just go right here, and there's Perry Sherwood. I can go above that, and I can see the upline string. That's the sponsorship line, okay? And all I did was scroll down. I also know that they're on an AutoSaver, that Renee is, and I also know that their last active was January 1st, so that's 7 days ago. So they're on the 1st, and so that tells me a little bit of information. So I got time to work this, but I need to get it done because they need to understand the concept. Now, Renee, I can click on Renee's name, and let's click on Renee's name just to show you, and look at Downline, and then let's ask the question, personal enrollees, active and inactive. She has none. So I'm going to go back to Cindy. I'm going to go back to who is cycling soon. Okay, back to where we were. And I like to do left side and right side. So that way you know which side you're working on, because you tend to want to work on your pay side. So that's where you want to work. Your bank side, then, that's work that should be done, but somebody else should really be doing this. This is where you want to concentrate, okay? But you do want to help your whole team, especially if you sponsored them, okay? So I know that Cindy did not sponsor because I looked at Renee. So I know that Renee hasn't sponsored anyone. So now it's time for Renee to get her business family back. So if she will enroll her spouse, place them on which side? Her opposite side she's been sponsored on. How do I know it's the left? Because look, she's got 40,000 points here on the right. So she's been placed on the right. How do I know? That's a common leg. That's how I know that. Okay. Now her points have been going every week to her left. Okay. So she would sponsor her spouse, 199, place it on the left, unless she wants to do a 499. But you know, that's a difficult conversation for her. This one is the easy conversation. This is the one I want you to have. Renee will get her business family pack and it will cost her nothing. She already knows she's been buying and accumulating wealth every month and her taxes have been paying for it. So she get 1099 tax benefits. Now she's going to get her business family pack. She earned it. How is that? Well, she's going to sponsor her spouse at 199, put them on the left. She's going to sponsor her company or her child or her mother or her daddy or whoever that she wants, that she is that, and place them on the right. They're going to go way down at the bottom. And she doesn't have to buy a coin every month on these. That's what she needs to understand. That's that conversation that's easy to have. So she spends $400 and she gets a $500 check. So those business family packs were free. She earned them with her commission and she comes out $100 ahead and 2 coins if she pays for them. That's if she pays for them. The best thing is we go to work and we get her at least 1 worker and sponsor, and then she sponsors her spouse. Okay, that's even better. So if you have to do what I call the trial membership, remember I teach that, where you've been working on a friend or somebody and you don't have an LLC, you don't have a company, but you do have a spouse, you don't have anybody else to make your business family. Well, you know, pay for your friend's trial membership for a year. It helps you, it helps them. You paid for it, you put it on a prepaid credit card with about $3 or $4 more after the fees for that. You still come out positive cash flow ahead, and you got a business family pack. So you need to work on Renee, get 111. Oh, by the way, that's 50 points and 50 points that's coming up to your pay side. Oh, well, let's go to Trish. She's in the same situation. I already know that Trish doesn't have anybody. I looked at this before. I already know Scott Price doesn't. Okay, I'm already working with Scott and his sponsor. Okay, so we're working on that right now because it's soon he's going to go over 500 points. So we're about to sponsor a person on the left and person on the right. He's going to get his family business back, by the way, and he's going to put his spouse on his left, and he's got an LLC, and he's going to put it on the right. And that's going to give Scott a $500 check, and those were free. He get 2 coins with those packages because they're his business family pack. And Bonita Almore, same situation, except we got to do mom and daddy here, a mom and a spouse. Okay, so this is kind of the way we go. Then you look at others. I mean, these people coordinating on whim right now because all they need to do is have one on the left. They get a $500 check and they won't lose their points, and they got $143,000 there. So what you do is you go through these, that everybody that's got 450, and look at all these here for Sherry. Well, I know that this is part of a business family pack. Now we got a dilemma. Okay. This is part of a business family pack. So if you aren't enrolling someone, now do you know, do you do parents? Do you grandparents? How do you do this? Because your top center is the one you're really focusing on and worried about in your rank and your building and your paycheck. You may let a control center, a family business pack, you may just let it flush. I know that hurts. But if you don't have the bodies and you don't have trial memberships to do, and you're not ready to do that, trial memberships is the best way. Because why? It could expand your business. It gets them to see things that they hadn't seen, but you need a commitment with that. And you need to use prepaid credit cards. That way they can't buy anything on your credit card. And if they want to, they can put their own credit card in. Then they got full use of the membership for a whole year. And, you know, maybe they might just get as hooked as we are on those great, rare, collectible, exclusive coins that 7K brings to the marketplace. Well, anyway, this is what you need to look at every week is who is cycling soon. And the ones that have won already, those are the easy ones, because that's just $200 and they get a $500 check, net out 300 and get an extra coin. The ones that have none, you know, now here's a person that's going to cycle no matter what, because why? They just became active. They bought a coin on their control center on their big side, and they're going to make a, what, $250 check today. Super. And if you're not watching these things, you can't see those things. See, I have some that I know I'm working on with sponsors already about them. I'm working on this one. I'm working on this one because this is down in under Pamela's business center. So it's part of her organization, and we're working on those right there. So I want you to understand that concept that I'm talking about. I'm going to reiterate it here in the whiteboard, and I'm going to share this now. So that is who is cycling next. Okay. You can do the same thing. Let me just show y'all that concept, because when y'all get to doing this, you want to have both active and inactive check. You don't want to just check actives, okay? And then you look at who is renewing soon. Renewing soon. Now, this is going to bring up everybody that is renewing in the next 30 days. And what you want to do is take screenshots of this. And you want to make sure that you are communicating with the sponsor and with the individual about their renewal and get it placed, because when they renew, they get no points for themselves. They go up just like a new membership does. But people underneath them, they should be looking at that, because that's going to go up to and they may need 50 points on a renewal, or they may need 150 points and it turn them a $500 check. Well, that should give you incentive to be watching this. Now, if you'll notice down at the very bottom down here, if I click on it, it's going to say their renewal date, they enrolled on January 9th. Well, right now, today is the 8th. So anybody that was on the 8th and the 7th, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they're already off of this, but they have not renewed, I can guarantee you. but I look at it before the month starts. So I get all the January 1 through the 30th, 31st on my print, where I print the screen out, and then I write the notes on my sheet that I have. And then those are the ones that I'm working. That's what each of you need to do for your downline. Okay. And leaders need to be teaching leaders to do this. Okay. So let's go to our whiteboard and let's do some numbers. Numbers everybody likes. Numbers everybody likes because it means dollars. Okay. Now, everybody remembers what I taught, and let me put on my little electronic glove here for the whiteboard. It's not that I have a black hand. It's just that my two fingers will write on the electronic board unless I have this on, and then I can use my digital pen. And let's get a ink on the pen. Okay. Now, everybody remembers the training I gave in the leadership training on January 6th, and it's in the Band app. Make sure you go, and you need to watch it if you haven't watched it, because that's what you're going to be using from here on out through Momentum Curve. And you need to be able to explain that to every person in your group. Your leaders need to be doing that and teaching that. That's how you're going to make a residual income for the rest of your life. That's how you're going to help a lot of people. So let's say this is the person that got placed, and let's say this is not each of you, because y'all are business leaders, y'all building, but this is that person you're going to be talking to, and they got placed on your left, and all this down here had nothing to do with them. They haven't sponsored the first person yet. They're just buying their coin. That's all they're doing. Okay. And there are a lot of people in my organization that have done this. And this is the things that y'all need to get to know real well, because these things go to where? Infinity, right? Okay. Let's say after a year, they've just been buying coins. And so you got about 26,000 points here after a year. And you got what? 240 points here, right? That's a year. They haven't sponsored anybody, but they know they're accumulating wealth. They're getting 1099 tax benefits. Their taxes are paying for their coin they get every month. They could have never built this downline in their lifetime, but yet there it is for them. And they got points coming up every month. You just look at your AutoSavers on your dashboard. And so they probably average, they got 26,000 points there. So this next year, they'll probably have more than that coming up. They'll probably average maybe 4,000 points a month coming up this next 12 months. Well, what else is going to happen in the next 12 months? They're going to keep getting 20 points every time, and it's going to go to this side. So when this hits 450 points this next year, and this now is maybe 4,000, 44,000. Let's say it's 80,000. Let's just say it's 80,000. Just give a number. Okay. This is growing. That's going to continue growing no matter what. Okay. And that's what that person has, is they got a big bank. Those are dollars. Now, this person needs to do what? Get a business family pack, okay, to be ones I just showed you how I spot them on the download report. They put their spouse here on the opposite side they were placed, right? That's their personal sponsor 1 on their right. That gave 50 points. That means they got 500 points here now, right? Okay. Then they sponsor their other one, place it down here at that's their personal sponsor number 2. Now they got it on their left. That's mom, dad, oldest son, whoever. $199, $200, $400. They get a $500 check. Now they've got reality. They're accumulating wealth. They have something to talk about to everyone that they've talked to for 2 years that told them no. If they were doing that, hopefully they were, because that's how they get the skills, attitudes, and techniques. But now they can go back to everybody again and say, remember that 7K I kept talking to you about? Look, I got a $500 check. I got a business family. Look at this organization. You can be a partner. We can do the same thing with you. Well, why are they doing that? This business is going to keep growing no matter what happens here. And every time, they don't have to buy a coin here and they don't have to buy a coin here. But when they get more points in their counter, because once they get their check, those 500 points going to go away. But they're active, they're an associate for 32 days. But when they buy their next coin, what's going to happen? Their 20 points are going to go over here, just like it had been. And they're, 84,000 points a year now, okay? Because another 4,000 came up right there, okay? Now, what happens next is they need to sponsor, and they finally sponsor it. They're going to sponsor everybody on their pay side until they start making a consistent $500 check at least every other week, or a $250 check every week. They're going to sponsor everybody here. Their personal sponsor 2, 3, their personal sponsor 4, until they find a partner. Until they find a partner that would actually work the business. Maybe this person sponsored a person, and that person became an associate, and then this person sponsored a person, and then all of a sudden over here, somebody down here became a gold associate. That means what? They can make $7,000 a week. That means they got a pretty good run. They got 8 people here and 8 people here. That means now you probably have somewhere around, 8,000 points coming up every week. That's like 100,000 a month, a year. Whoa! Now at the end of their 3rd year, they got 184,000. They've earned another check because they sponsored people, and maybe earned 2 checks. And now they got a few people that built their business that they're ready to build a business with. And gee whiz, maybe this person right here makes their first check. That's 500 points here, and that's 500 points here. That all came up to here, and they ended up getting 1,000 points during a month, right? Well, it didn't all come up at one time. It came up during the month. So that meant they got 2 $500 checks. That's pretty good. They're still getting 1099 tax benefit. They're still accumulating wealth. That's what this is all about. It's left team and right team. This is a team they could have never built in their lifetime. But now they're learning how to do that. And they're doing it over here. And so maybe this team started out the first year with about 100 people over here. And they had none. And then the second year, maybe it ended up being, 400 people. And they still had none. And then the third year, maybe this went to 1,000 people. And they had 4. And then this year, maybe it went to 2,000 people. Because that's about what happens, okay? Remember the power of duplication? And maybe they had, 10 people. Well, we know they had to have more than that when this occurred. So maybe they had 40 people. Wow, it wasn't them that did it. It was somebody else here that they didn't even sponsor. So for them to get this check, they got to have an active on the left and an active on the right, right? Active on the left and active on the right. So if these people aren't buying their coin, if that person's buying a coin, then they only have to buy a coin here. So they buy a coin here and a coin here every month to get $1,000 a month. That's not bad, huh? Well, what if that person's not buying? None of these are buying. Well, they buy a coin here and they buy a coin here. That's $350. Let's just say they get 3 valuable coins per month. They're still accumulating more wealth, but now they're getting $1,000 every month in checks. So checks are paying for all their coins now, and they're still getting their tax benefits. Now, the next year, what happens when this person starts making 500 every week? Well, that means 1,000 points are coming up every week. Well, they can only make, being an associate, $500. So they got $1,000 coming up every week now, 1,000 points, but they only making 500 a week. Who wouldn't pay $350 for 3 coins every month to accumulate more wealth and get these valuable, unique coins and get paid $2,000 a month, 500 a week? Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Well, you can't do it if you quit. You can't do it if you stop buying your AutoSaver. This is what you need to communicate to every person that is enrolled in your business, one by one. And you need leaders helping, teaching that to other leaders. Sometimes you need to team up. And that's the best way to do it. We have their sponsor in the upline leader, or they're sponsoring a couple of upline leaders, meeting, talking, sharing this. And if you can't do what I'm doing, you use the video to do it with, and I hope you see what they're trying to share with you right now. Because eventually you can become a Bruce Harris, the Idaho potato truck driver, or Denai Nelson, that Montana real estate agent, lives out in the boonies of nowhere land. Yeah, you're qualified, you could make $1,000 a week, but you need to become a copper. Well, then you can work because you got skills, you got attitudes. It took Bruce a while to become a copper, make that $1,000 every week, but then he quit his job. because that was a lot more than that $36,000 working 60, 70-hour weeks, driving those Idaho potato trucks, picking them up and driving them to the factory, and then going picking them up and driving back to the factory, or delivering the finished potatoes to the clients. Yeah. Every one of you and everyone you sponsor in your organization has the same opportunity. And it takes time. That's why I teach the system that I teach. And you need to learn it and teach it. And you need to be able to show this to everyone. Okay? So let's talk about the person that comes in and they got one active on their side, and they're making they got their business family pack, and they now have an associate where they don't have to buy a coin there if they don't want to, when they put in on their spouse, because they got an active here, and that's an associate. But now they need to become an associate over here to become a copper and not lose out on that extra 500, because it's coming up every week. So we have this case that you need to be an associate. So what do you need to be a copper? You need to have an associate on your personally sponsored person. So that's 1, 2, and you need a third one. So that's 3 positions. That's $600. That's 3 memberships that need to be over there. You already have everything you need. You got you. Now you have to buy a coin. You have to buy a coin here. Now, if you are doing these as trial memberships or with buyers, that'd be great. And that's what your focus is, because you got to be a copper to get that extra $1,000 every month. No, it's not just an extra $1,000 every month. It's an extra $2,000, because 500 a week times 4 weeks is $2,000. $1,000 a week is $4,000 a month. So why wouldn't we spend $600 in a year, every year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $750 a month. If we did trial memberships, we couldn't sponsor a person, but man, we had that money coming up. Now you can turn a trial membership into a real membership, but a trial membership, you'd have to say, as part of your marketing efforts to expand your business, it's real people. You can't do this with fake people. These are real people. You're really trying to give them a trial membership. Let them see all the benefits from the inside. You're doing a prepaid credit card, and so they can't charge things on you in their membership. And even if you had to buy the coin, have it shipped to you, but that'd be part of the agreement with the trial membership. Okay. And so 12 months times 750 is 9,000. So 600, because you have to renew it. So you're spending $9,600 a year. to operate your business, okay? And you're getting coins. So you're not just spending money, you're accumulating more wealth. And now you're going to have an income of $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year. I spend this on running my business and accumulating wealth, and I get this in return. That makes good business sense to me, and I think it should to you. So we're looking in the future. And, you know, has this happened with a lot of people? Yes, it's happened with a lot of people, and they've done it exactly this way. Is there anything done wrong with it? No, as long as it's real people and it's real, because many of these trial memberships we've turned into actual business or buyers and business. Does all of them work out? No. But what have you lost? Nothing. You just have to get another trial membership or get a real person that wants to do the same thing you're doing later. But this is part of building rank to get paid what your business is producing. Okay? It's just another means that I teach the leaders, and just to stay and make sure you're doing everything within the policies and procedures of the company. That's why it says better be real people. Okay? No fake names, none of that stuff, because anytime they become an associate, they're an associate. Okay? Now, buyers, they're just buyers. All they're doing is buying coins, you know. But the associates, they sign an associate agreement. They're qualified to earn a check. They get verified, all that. But the others, you know, they can be friends, relatives, people that you know that they can benefit from, but they haven't seen the advantages that you see. And there's nothing better seeing everything from within, because they can't see, they can't log in, they can't get in until they're a member. Okay, they can't see all these things. They don't even get to use the stack and sell like we do, and that's one of the greatest things to show how this business works. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen right now, and I'm going to talk about and go back and share another screen with you again. Yep, got the same one, didn't I? Didn't mean to do that. Which one? This one. There we go. Okay, got to make it larger. There we go. Go to one of my favorite tabs. Okay, now everyone sees why I say it's best to start with your business family pack at the beginning, because you're on top of this big business that you're building. And then and when you want to do is build this one until you're making $7,000 a week or $5,000 a week before you ever try to work another business, because you're building a whole new business. Even though you got a big team there and points are coming up, you still have to rank that up as this builds, just like I just showed you with the person that was here and all they were doing was buying a coin. Now, we bought a coin on all three of ours from day one. We didn't miss a beat. Okay. Now, Pamela's is here, and we were working Pamela's, but now I gave the change in strategy, build just one if you're building. Now, if this is your your sons or daughters, well, heck yeah, you want to help them build because they need an income. But if it's your spouse, you hold off, you wait, or you let that be part of your family legacy, like we have. See, Pamela and I both goals, and we're not maxing out hers yet, and so and I'm flushing a lot on mine, but I need to rank up, and so that's what we're in the dilemma of. Had I did it the opposite way, we'd be getting commission check on everything that comes through my center. You know, if I'd had to get the presidential goal, because there's many weeks I have well over 12,500 on my pay side. So, and now that the company is going up, and I gave a training on that. That's back in December 30th on the leadership training. So we're, you can look it up on the band, and it's there in the YouTube too. So this is why we do the business family pack in advance, because everything we build is underneath our family legacy right there. And our children's children can be building business and have tons of bank volume in there. And I wanted everybody to see that aspect of growing the business. Now, AutoSavers, renewals, and who's cycling next. These are the things you need to be checking all the time, every week, and helping people optimize their paycheck and helping your downline optimize the paycheck. And thank you for your time and attention. See ya on the beaches of the world, living a lifestyle powered by gold and silver.